don't know if I'm going. Yeah, it's recording.
Okay. What's up, guys? DubbleAction here. I'm going to do a review of my Smith & Wesson M&P9. You guys saw the unboxing video I did of it, and figure it's time to do a review. I've gotten plenty of range time with it, and now it's time to tell you guys what I think of it. First of all, we'll start with some specs. Well, first things first, let's safety check it. Got an empty magazine, no round in the chamber. It's a clear and safe weapon. Okay, so it's a striker fired double action only pistol. It's the barrel length is 4 1/4 inches, 4.25 inch barrel. Magazine capacity is 17. So you got 17 in the magazine plus 1 in the chamber, 17 plus 1. And it's got 3-dot tritium night sights, which are optional. Some of them come with it, some of them don't. Obviously it's a little bit extra for the night sights. It's the trigger pull is between 4 and 5.5 pounds trigger pull, which is awesome. I love this trigger. We'll get into that a little bit more later. Overall length is 7.5 inches. Weight empty is 24 ounces. And the slide has what Smith & Wesson calls a black melanite finish, which I think is outstanding. A lot of you guys have seen my M&P9 compact review, and I mean, it's the same. I've had that gun for a lot longer than I had this one, but it's the same finish, basically the same gun. The compact is just a little bit shorter in the barrel and about 1 inch shorter in the handle, and it doesn't have this little tang thing here. But that black melanite finish, I've never had a problem with it. It doesn't really show a lot of holster wear, and it does not rust. Very good finish. Okay, a lot of the pros. Let me tell you some of the things I like about this gun. I love the ergonomics. The ergos are great. It's got this palm swell. You can interchange the back straps. It comes with 3 different back straps you can put on here, and you change those out by taking this frame tool out of the grip here, and you just, off comes the palm swell. You put whatever size on there you want, and bam, this frame tool goes right back in, and there you go, you're off. So that's the ergos are amazing. It's got a nice wide comfortable trigger. One thing I like about this trigger, I'll get into the trigger a little bit, it's got the safety on this trigger. You can see the bottom half of this trigger moves slightly before the top half starts to move. If this bottom half isn't pulled, then the top half, let me see, if I just put pressure on the top half, it won't go back. You have to press the bottom of this trigger, and then the top half can move. Okay? It's a very comfortable trigger. It's nice and wide and smooth, whereas the Glocks and some of the Walthers, like the Walther PPS, the Springfield XDs, they all have that ultra safe action trigger, they call it, where it's like a tiny little trigger in the middle of the trigger. And it's the same premise as this, but that one tends to hurt your finger. A lot of guys call that Glock bite, that trigger bite that you get when you fire a Glock once in a while. It'll bite your finger. You just get pinched in there, and it hurts. This doesn't do that. It's a nice, comfortable trigger, and light. This is a great combat trigger. Like I said, between 4 and 5.5 pound trigger pull, which is nothing for a double action only pistol. Really like this trigger. I can't say enough about it. My favorite trigger out of any pistol I've ever fired. The pros, the capacity. This thing holds 17 rounds in the magazine. Now the XDMs, they'll hold 19, but 17 is pretty decent. I mean, you figure like a Beretta 92 FS only holds 15. I think the Glock holds 17. In the Glock 17, I think that's why they call it a Glock 17. I'm not sure what all the other ones. I think the CZ SP75 Phantom, I think that one holds 19. So there's a couple that hold more than 17, but 17 is plenty. I mean, 17 in the magazine, 1 in the chamber, that's 18 rounds before you got to reload with this thing. That's a lot. If you can't handle your business with 18 rounds, you're in over your head. And I usually carry at least one, usually 2 reloads, because whenever I'm carrying this, I'm in uniform, so I don't have to worry about concealing it. So I carry 3 17-round magazines, 1 in the gun, 2 on my belt, and plus 1 in the chamber. That's 52 rounds that I'm carrying on my person whenever I'm carrying this gun. So that's, I mean, I can fight a small war before I run out of ammunition. These slide serrations on the slide, they're not just straight like a lot of guns just have straight slide serrations here. These are kind of scalloped. You can see that in the light there, and really lets you get a positive grip on that slide. So when you rack it, you know, your hand's not sliding off until you loosen your grip and you want it to slide. And those are real good slide serrations. It's got the accessory rail. There's 3 different positions, so it's real versatile. You can mount a light on there, you can mount a laser, you can mount you know, whatever accessories you want to mount on there. There's plenty of room for it. The fit and finish, I just think this is a nice looking gun. I mean, it's just as simple as that. I like the way it looks. I like the way this I got a little bit of curves to the, you know, to the palm swells and the stippling, and I just like the way it looks. I think they did a real nice job as far as fit and finish goes on this. Like a lot of the other guns you see, like a Glock especially, it just looks like a block. I mean, they're just boring, square, blocky, ugly guns. I mean, what's wrong with making a gun look decent? Why can't Glock do that? I don't understand. I love the way this gun looks and feels in your hand. It doesn't feel like you're holding a brick. You know, it's got some curve to it. It's got some rounded edges. Good job, Smith & Wesson. Okay, safeties. It's got a magazine disconnect safety. So without the magazine inserted, it will not fire. You can pull the trigger, it won't go click. Once you insert the magazine, now it'll click. Now it'll fire. Some people like that, some people don't. I tend to like it. I like it because, say at night, I can take this and put it on my nightstand, take the magazine out and stick it under my mattress, under my pillow, whatever, and the gun won't fire. I can leave a round in the chamber and it's safe. It can't go off until you put the magazine in. So if I hear something go bump in the night, all I gotta do is just slap the magazine in and I'm good to go. And I like that option. Some people don't, but I do. Okay, I've put probably about, if I had to guess, maybe 300-400 rounds through this gun already, and I have had 0 malfunctions. Same thing with my compact. These guns are consistently trouble-free. Not a single hiccup in all those rounds. And with my compact, I've put thousands of rounds through that thing and not a single hiccup. It's been absolutely flawless. And that's pretty much the norm with these M&Ps. They're real reliable. They're great shooting guns. Accuracy is just, I mean, right on par with all the other manufacturers that make a gun comparable to this. I mean, you can, last time I went to the range, I was putting rounds through a quarter size red dot in the middle of a paper plate, and you know, consistently at 21 feet, and you can do that easily with this gun. It's very accurate for what it is. I mean, it's not a bullseye gun. It's not a competition target pistol. It's a combat gun. So it's reasonably accurate for what it is. Cons, man, I can't think of any. I really can't. It's a great gun. I have no complaints about it whatsoever. None. I have nothing bad. I mean, usually pretty much every review I do, I can think of at least one negative point about the thing I'm reviewing, but not with these Smith & Wesson M&Ps. They're absolutely phenomenal. Oh, also, one thing I forgot to mention, ambidextrous controls. You can switch the magazine release from right-handed to left-handed. There's a spring inside that you disconnect from the button. You pull the button right out, put it in from the other side, and reconnect the spring, and now you got a left-handed magazine disconnect, magazine release. The slide lock is on both sides. So if you're a left-handed shooter, let's see if I can do this left-handed. Yeah, if you're a left-handed shooter, you can use your left hand. You don't have to switch hands to lock the slide to the rear. It's on both sides. The only thing that's not ambidextrous is the takedown lever, which doesn't really need to be. That's not something you're going to need to do in a hurry. If you're field stripping this thing, you got all the time in the world to do it. You're sitting in your house or whatever, in your cleaning room, so it's not a problem. Which brings me to takedown. We'll go through that real quick. One thing I like about this is you do not have to pull the trigger to field strip it, which you do with the Glocks and the XDs. I believe you also, no, the XDs you don't either, I don't think. I'm not sure. So takedown of this gun is pretty smooth. I like it because you don't have to pull the trigger to take it down like you do with a Glock. Yeah, I know I'm doing a lot of Glock bashing, but I'm kind of partial. I just like Smith & Wesson. Anyway, to take it down, here's what you do. Lock the slide to the rear, and then you take your takedown tool right out of the frame. You don't have to do that, you can use anything, but what you want to do is down inside here there's a little question mark shaped lever. They call it the sear deactivation lever. You pull that down, and you'll be able to see that better once I get the slide off. You pull that down, and that makes it so you don't have to pull the trigger. You're deactivating your sear like that with that lever. And then you rotate your takedown lever 90 degrees, pull the slide back, and slide it right off. Okay, so now you got your frame. Now I'll show you that lever I was talking about. Here it is. I'll use this as a pointer. You've got your sear deactivation lever right here, and this lever here is your magazine disconnect safety. So when you slide the magazine up inside this frame, you can see that it pushes both of these levers up. Okay, so it pushes your magazine release or magazine disconnect safety lever up, so it activates your sear, and also makes sure that sear deactivation lever is up, so your sear is active. So now when you fire, it'll fire. It'll release the striker. Okay, see how that works? So anyway, back to takedown. There's your frame. You've got your slide assembly. Just take the spring out, slide the barrel forward, and then out, and there you go. It's that simple. And then putting it back together is just as simple. Just slide your barrel in, slide your spring assembly in with that little hex nut side forward, compress it a little bit, and put that on the little notch on the barrel lug. Line up your grooves with your frame tabs there. Got to hold this lever forward with your thumb. Got to slide back, lock the slide to the rear, do that. There you go. She's back together. It's that simple. So there you have it. That's my review of the Smith & Wesson M&P9. A great gun. Love it. Like I said, have nothing bad to say about it. Alright guys, that's it. This is Double Action. Stay sharp, be safe, and God bless. Bye now.